Obviously, a big thanks to the Green Bay Packer organization for an incredible run.
His time in Green Bay is over, and his time in New York is just beginning.
That chapter is over now. I'm excited about the new adventure here in New York.
Breaking news on what this means for Rodgers, the Packers, and the NFL Draft. Topping tonight's Fox 11 News at 5.
Balanced news and severe weather coverage. This is Fox 11 News at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. It's officially official. After 18 years in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers has a new home.
That's right. The trade that is sending Rodgers to New York Jets is final. Nicole Renner is joining us now with more. And Nicole, Rodgers was introduced in New Jersey today as a Jet.
That is right. The New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers wasted absolutely no time. Rodgers was officially introduced as a member of the Jets in a press conference this afternoon. He spoke for just over 20 minutes, calling it a surreal day as the four-time MVP quarterback and Super Bowl champ begins a new chapter in his football career. Our Cody Krupp has more.
Rodgers ended his opening statement thanking the Packers for what was an incredible run, but then said that chapter is now over. He's excited for a new adventure in New York. But before doing so, of course, a few lingering questions about how things ended in Green Bay. He previously mentioned that he wanted more direct communication from the front office, and then Brian Gutekunst, the general manager for the Packers, responded previous that he tried and Rodgers just did not answer.
I'm fortunate to live in a beautiful house. The only downside is I have very limited cell service. So if you want to get a hold of me, I have to see your face. You got to FaceTime me. There's, records in your phone about who called you, when, FaceTime. And there wasn't any specific FaceTimes from any of those numbers that I was looking at. Now, obviously, my future was undecided at that time. I didn't know if I wanted to keep playing. I wanted to go into my darkness retreat. And when I came out, it was evident that it was retire or move on to a new team.
4 p.m. Central Time, about 3 hours after Rodgers made that comment, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst took the podium here in Green Bay and had a chance to respond.
Let's move on from that. I think certainly we tried to communicate, but I don't really know what to say to that.
Does Rodgers plan to use the Packers' openness about wanting to move on from him as a chip on his shoulder moving forward?
Not really motivated by that, honestly. I'm very self-motivated. When you get older, it's fun to go out and prove it each year that you can still do it. And that's enough motivation, I think, that I need. It
had been 6 weeks since Rodgers' initial comments on the Pat McAfee show regarding this now official trade to the Jets. Was he at all concerned between then and now that deal was not going to get done?
Not really. I believed it was going to happen the entire time. And as I leaned into it, getting back into some more strenuous workouts, I just really believed that this was where I was supposed to be. Things moved pretty quickly on Monday, and thankfully, I'm here now.
Many times throughout the press conference, Rodgers mentioned his former Packers and now current offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett.
A big reason I'm here, I got to mention, is Nathaniel Hackett, who's here. Hack and I became really close friends, and I love him like a brother, and I believe in him.
Of course, one Super Bowl ring already on his finger, but what would getting a second in a second city mean for his legacy?
Well, I don't really know about the historical standing in the sport. I think more from this organization standpoint, it'd be really special. Walking in this morning, that Super Bowl III trophy is looking a little lonely. So already have 18 years in an incredibly iconic organization, and it'd be fun to be a part of the history of this one as well.
Much more Rodgers to New York coverage is coming up. Reporting from the Fox 11 Fieldhouse, Cody Krupp, Fox 11 Sports.
Thank you, Cody. A great breakdown right there. Now that the trade is official, Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst spoke within the last hour. He did not spend a ton of time discussing Rodgers specifically and instead focused on the terms of the trade. Let's take a look at them right now. The teams are swapping this year's first-round picks as the Packers will move up from 15 to 13. They'll also get the Jets' second-round pick, 42nd overall, a 6th-round pick this year, as well as a conditional 2nd-round pick next year that would become a 1st-round pick if Rodgers plays 65% of the plays this season. In return, the Packers are giving the Jets their 15th overall pick, as well as a 5th-round pick in this year's draft.
Oh, I wanted a lot of things to start out, so yeah, no doubt. Even more than that. But Aaron's a great player, right? And so, if you're going to trade a great player, you certainly want to try to get as much for him as you can. But I think we were realistic as well and understood, where the player was at in his career. If we were going to move on from him, I thought we needed to get something of fair value back that could help this football team, not only this year, but in years to come, and I think we were able to accomplish that.
Packers president Mark Murphy shared that Rodgers, number 12, will be retired one day at Lambeau Field. Now, Rodgers will not be rocking 12 in New York, despite getting a blessing from Joe Namath, for whom the number is retired. Instead, Rodgers will wear his college number 8. And here's what he said about the switch.
There's some iconic names that have played here, probably none more iconic than number 12. And I heard what he said about unretiring his number, but to me, 12 is Broadway Joe, and I didn't want to even go down that path, and I'm excited about going back to my college number.